Selecting the right roof for your church is a big decision. At American Metal Roofs, we believe we're the best choice for roofing your church, period. However, rather than boasting further about our company and products, we sat down with church leaders that we've worked for and asked them to discuss their experiences working with American Metal Roofs. Here are their comments. After doing your research, what was it that had you choose American Metal Roofs for your church roof?
Well, we didn't really have any other options than a metal roof because it became a logical conclusion. We had a lot of problems with asphalt shingles, and so we knew we needed some alternative approach. The church was built in 1957. We had 2 asphalt roofs on it. Both of them just deteriorated, and so a metal roof was a logical option for us.
We had decided to go the metal roof route. It was primarily the reputation of American Metal Roofs that was one of the big factors. Once we had the presentations, we were really sold on American Metal Roofs as doing a quality job with both the materials and the labor. The labor is really the differentiating factor. And we were sold on the sincerity and what we thought would be the performance of American Metal Roofs.
Oh, we were having several roof leaks, some major, some minor, but there was quite a bit of water coming in. Well, this was one of our major leaks. The water would just come in off of this window and drip all into here on both sides of it. I tried it originally, it was a slate roof, and we weren't having any success finding anybody to work on it. And I already worked with Frank on another project before, and I said, well, this might be a perfect job for American Metal Roof again.
I think the reason why I chose or I asked the church to consider using your company was because of, number one, the quality that they were offering, the people that were involved, and it was more than just a business. And I think that was a key thing for me. It was more than just a business.
You dealt with folks from all departments of our company, from our call center to our sales to our installers. Can you describe your experience dealing with our people?
Everyone was wonderful. And I'll tell you that it's who answers the phone.
Thank you for choosing American Metal Roofs.
Literally. I mean, those people are your front line. To have those people with just a friendly tone of voice is so important. And I found that right from the very first contact I made with American Metal Roofs. In addition to that, it held true all the way up the ladder. Now, I'm not surprised now having dealt with them because I believe that it works the other way. I think that's the attitude of those who are in ownership positions, and they have passed that on down the ladder to make sure that this is a corporate value that they follow.
Yeah, I think the quality started at the top and went right on down to the bottom rung. I mean, all the way through. There wasn't a single worker out here that was not hospitable. The language was always appropriate, good, and that doesn't always happen on construction sites. They were always easy to work with for if we had any activities going on in our facility.
Whenever you call, they get to the right people right away, and if they're not there, they call me back. So everything's gone real smooth.
Dan was always down here. He had my cell phone number, kept me informed as to their schedule, kept me informed if there was any issues.
Mike was the person who came and bid the job for us, and Dan was the person that we interacted with a lot, or I interact with. He's still on my cell phone contact list. And I will tell you that both of them were just so easy to work with.
They went above and beyond what the job called for in making some fixes on the brick and mortar where we had some ladder cracks and some issues. We were very impressed with the communication.
Every time they say that they're going to do something, it gets done.
What did we do to protect the building and grounds during installation? How did we leave the grounds?
One of the examples is they said, Dan, we want you to be on the job site. We want you to see us working because the safety harnesses that all of them wear, cleaning up the nails, using magnetic brooms, periodically throughout the job, making sure that nails that they had pulled were cleaned up. Little things like that, pulling those things out of the grass. When they left the job site, it was better than when they arrived. And that was powerful for us as well. I mean, that's and that's just character and attitude, and I have nothing but good to say about that.
Well, number one, they provided us with certificates of insurance and said that they were, insured and everything. They have large equipment, obviously. They put pads down when they brought the cranes in, so as not to damage the concrete or the lawn. They were always very safety conscious, and that was one of the things that impressed us. We are in Lansing, and Miosha is constantly looking at job sites and if they use safety equipment and things, and the manpower was always very conscious of safety requirements, and then also of our parishioners and the public, that areas where they were working they were properly barricaded and people were notified that this was a danger area. So it was never an issue about safety, and including the fact that we had children coming and going from the facility. And they were always communicated with us, made sure that the access that we were using was always available and not going to be an issue with the kids. And so it was always a very good relationship.
Well, I kind of look every day to see, we got a memorial garden over there, and now it's very personal to a lot of people, and I haven't seen any damage anywhere on the property. So I'm sitting there going, wow. I expected there to be, a little this or that, but I haven't had anything.
Every night when they would leave the job site, it was always neat. We had a couple of storms that passed through. You didn't have debris flying all over the place. On the weekends when we would have services, well, it was always very presentable. So it was for a job that had the scope of this one, it was always on a very, very nice basis. And I never had a single comment from a parishioner that there was an issue, or from the staff.
Well, out on front, they put plywood under the trailer so it didn't go into the grass too far. But other than that, all the dumpsters have been on the asphalt or on the concrete. They've been shooting everything, all the bad slate off in chutes and then right into the dumpsters. I come by 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night and everything's cleaned up.
No nails, no nothing?
No. And you would figure something would be left. I don't see any debris at night when I come by.
I would say that it was a very positive experience, that I shared with your company, because it gave me the total view of what a company can do.
How has the new American Metal Roof transformed the look of your church?
Our old roof was so flat, it had no character whatsoever. I don't think they realized how much dimension and quality these new metal shingles were going to add. They're really delighted with it. I mean, it's not, you just don't go back and look at a roof like you might look at a stained glass window, but you do. It can enhance a building to that extent almost.
It has changed. The aesthetic style of our church is Old English. We're Indiana limestone on the outside. Architecturally, we're kind of like that little English church, that gray limestone church. 12-12 pitch, which is a bit of a challenge, and of course our large tower and spire. The asphalt shingles actually detracted from that look. I mean, you don't look at pictures of old English churches and see asphalt shingles. You see either stone or something else. The American Metal Roof product, while it looks like asphalt, while it has that cultured look of shingles, still has more substance to it. That actually gave us a more authentic look as an Old English church. So it accentuated our style in a very positive way.
Architecturally, very, very pleasing. And we are, I might add that we are a historic building, and that was certainly a big factor for us, was the appearance. We had to maintain the same quality of appearance to keep our historic registry rating.
It really doesn't look like a metal roof. It looks like it belongs.
What impact will this new roof have on future generations at this church?
Future congregations are going to save a huge amount and not go through the stress and inconvenience of redoing a roof. And the building is not going to deteriorate. It's not. We're not going to have leaks here and there. And when you have those leaks, they do nothing but deteriorate the rest of your facility.
I'm planning on leaving eventually, whether I die. I'm not trying to rush that, but I've been here 20 years. I arrived in 1993, so whether I retire out of this pulpit, I don't know. One of the challenges in that 20-year span, I've faced mechanical challenges here with the electrical system, with the heating system, and with the roof. The one nice thing is the roof system was solved. I'll never face it again. The electrical system, we continue to do more work. The heating system, we continue to do more work. And that's just a reality in dealing with a building that was built in 1957. But I know I'm passing on a problem that was solved in the roof arena, and that's a good thing.
I'm suspecting it won't have to be done for another 100 years. The slate roof lasted 90 years. I suspect this one's going to last at least that long too.
What advice would you have for other churches facing a major roofing project?
Call me. I mean that. I mean, talk to other churches, talk to other pastors. Now, the way churches work, sometimes pastors don't stay long enough to have a relevant answer. But there are pastors, there are elders, there are people in that church that were part of that process that were there through the entire process. Call them, interact with them, find out, because it means something. And especially if a person like me says, hey, here's my phone number. It's 616-842-5060. Call me. I'll tell you personally about what it is that we liked and what it is that we were challenged with other companies. I think that says a lot. And so my advice is call, talk to people. Don't just talk to the salesperson. Follow your gut, but educate yourself. I spent a lot of time, and time is treasure. Investing in understanding the product, understanding what it was that they were going to do to solve our specific problems. That hot roof that we had without ventilation that caused the asphalt shingles to just curl up and burn up on the south side. The problem we had with ice damming because of that hot roof that we had. All of that was solved, but it took an investment of time and discussion and them walking around, climbing around, looking at our structure and saying, okay, here are the problems, here's our suggestion. And that's the education I'm talking about.
Well, you obviously have to do your due diligence and check out the market. And it's very, very difficult to compare contractors. And we're a faith-based organization, and you have to have faith in the contractor that you eventually choose. I don't care if you're covering a chicken coop or our church. It's an expensive process to put a metal roof on, and the quality of the job is very, very important. You have to have a gut feeling for the people that are actually going to be doing the job. Their background, their knowledge, their commitment. Talking to past customers or a referral list that you might be given. There was absolutely nothing about our project that we were not 110% satisfied with. And that's important. And I don't know how you can evaluate that before you actually get into a project. I mean, you can hindsight is 20/20, so it's very easy to look at it now and say, yeah, that was the right thing to do. Outstanding job.
The way Frank and Dan handle it just goes so much smoother, and they understand how it goes, and they know where to look, where the problems are most likely going to be located at. And they pointed it out and gave us a detailed schematic of the roof and how they were going to work and get it done.
Thank you for taking the time to watch as our past customers have shared their experiences with American Metal Roofs. Now you've seen firsthand how your church can be transformed by an American Metal Roof. We hope this video has helped answer some of your questions regarding your future roof project. We'd be happy to speak with you to answer further questions you may have. We'd also be happy to meet with your congregation or building committee. Please contact American Metal Roofs at 1-800-287-0677.